24 hours, that lab's going to be blown sky high. Release the microbes, Doctor. The microbes are released.
Why didn't you tell me about this when I applied for my private detective's license?
I've got a feeling there's an accident about to happen.
Number in there for verification.
How dangerous is this microbe?
I don't know, Torque. That's what these people in there are trying to find out. Thank you. That satellite probe to Venus meant bringing back soil from a planet that's only 67 million miles from the sun. Any microbe that can live in that kind of heat has got to be a pretty dangerous little item to play with.
As chief of research, you ought to have some hint of what you're doing here.
Dr. Davis, believe me, we would tell you if we could.
I'll check out external security, Thomas.
Good idea.
What are you doing? No, don't! Just the 10 seconds of exposure. It's enough to murder us.
into a locker room and then out of the building. He's probably headed for the main gate.
Clark, we've got a situation, Red. Are you anywhere near the main gate?
No, but I will be. They got a good start on us, Thomas.
I've seen slower starts at the Indy 500. Did I say the Indy 500? She should be driving to the Grand Prix.
Yeah, and you're keeping up with her. We're gonna have our dreams, sweetheart. What? What's wrong?
Nothing we can't handle, lover.
Thomas, I've got a feeling there's an accident about to happen.
Torque, that siren.
Yeah, it's aiming right at us. He's getting away, Thomas.
Let's make sure we do it.
You did give him the slip, Thomas.
They gave us the slip.
Dr. Charles Franklin. So it was one of the people working directly with the microbe. If only the tip had come into unit sooner, I could have had surveillance on them for more than just 2 lousy days.
Or if Thomas and I had gotten there 5 minutes sooner.
Yeah. Well, I'd appreciate Thomas getting here 5 minutes sooner. Even an elite counterforce reporting directly to the president has a schedule to meet.
Excuse me, Mr. Director, but I'm sure Thomas will be arriving at any moment. The signals from his automobile.
Effie, covering up for Thomas Sloane is not one of your designated functions. You are a computer, Effie. Try to behave like one.
Yes, sir.
Thomas R. Sloane.
electromagnet. Switch it on, aim at any lock, turn it slowly. Bingo. Opens any lock, starts any car ignition. Isn't it cute?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thomas, don't you dare take off with that.
Well, Thomas, the president will be glad to know his priority one agent's on the job.
We got trouble. Those two people sealed off in that contaminated lab.
I was told they were pumping oxygen in there to keep them alive.
And the microbe is eating the oxygen and multiplying.
You mean it's chemically changing the air?
Right. In 24 hours, that lab is going to be blown sky high. And the microbe is going to be loose in the atmosphere.
If only there were an antidote for it.
I think there is. Cartel wouldn't want something they couldn't control.
Torque, you're right. The laboratory discovered an antidote just a couple of days ago.
Well, then.
Only the formula disappeared with Dr. Franklin.
Excuse me, sir. What is this place here?
Oh, that's Franklin's little playpen in the woods that his wife doesn't know about.
Is this a lady in the woods that we don't know about?
Very astute, Thomas. I didn't notice the girl or the other car until it was magnified. Effie, the blow-up on the playpen, please.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
If you mean the photographic enlargement, Thomas, I agree.
Felix. I hate winning from an employee. It's another 1,000. Makes, I believe, an exact total of 5,500.
Don't worry, Felix. I'll let you work it off. Charles, our dangerous little microbe all safely sealed up, is it?
Yeah. That is quite a laboratory you've got downstairs, Jonathan.
Well, cartel giveth, and cartel taketh away if we're not very, very careful. Which brings us, Charles, to the antidote.
You know, I really did take all those papers up to my cabin to copy the formula down on a nice, neat, single page. But time got shortened, and then Charlene... She's quite a gal, your sister. Anyway, I have all the papers right here.
There aren't any copies anywhere?
No. Those are the originals. My lab boss just finished the experiments a few days ago. She doesn't even know the notes are missing.
Splendid. Once I deliver the Venus microbe and the antidote, cartel will control the ultimate weapon. But I'm such a worrier, Charles. What if this antidote doesn't work?
Jonathan, of course it'll work. We tested it at the Institute several times.
But not on a human being.
Certainly not.
We're paying you $2 million, Charles. We're going to have to test it on a human being. And since you'll be mixing up the formula, I really think we should test it on you.
What? Take your hands off me. Charlene!
Life's a gamble, Charles. Now, what can I tell you?
What can you tell her? What do you tell your sister about shooting dice with my life?
Well, to be honest, Charles, she isn't exactly my sister.
But then who is she?
Probably the most highly paid seductress in the world. We use her whenever there's someone like you. Now, why don't you go on back in the lab and whip us up a batch of that antidote? When it works, you'll be a wealthy man. If it doesn't, of course, it's goodbye, Charlie.
No, please. Let me go.
Terrific. Makes a lot of noise. Would you mind turning it off now?
Thank you. But why don't you just close the door?
Oh, it's always roasting in here. Just stay right out there, whoever you are. And who are you?
Thomas Sloane. I'm looking for Dr. Charles Franklin. Your car was up at his cabin 2 nights ago. And so is your face. Now, may I come in?
No. But since you are in, you get to pay the cover charge.
You're a private investigator?
The Brighton Detective Agency. We happen to have been retained by Dr. Franklin's wife on a matter which I am not at liberty to discuss. Now, if you would just assume the position.
So, Franklin's wife knows he's been fooling around on her, huh?
I didn't say that. Why are you sitting down? Now, I didn't say anything about sitting down. In fact, Buster, if you don't get up right now and assume the position, come on.
Wait a
be
minute.
apart.
Whatever happened to professional courtesy?
What do you mean?
How long have you been a private investigator?
Well, actually, I am rather a recent licensee. Why? What is it to you?
First case, huh?
What did you mean about professional courtesy?
Well, we think that Franklin may be involved in industrial espionage.
You're kidding. Really?
What is this?
Oh, that is a homing device. See, you stick this on the subject person or vehicle, and then you just refer to all these little lights and dials on the receiving instrument, and voila! You can find the subject or follow him. Oh, those are the instructions right there. It's a little tricky.
For $29.95.
Oh, yeah, that's a very fine mail order house, by the way. You know, having a device like this when you need it, in our business, you just never know.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, thank you. We think that Franklin disappeared with one of his girlfriends.
Oh, I think Charlene is the only one he's been seeing.
Charlene. You know her? You've seen her?
Well, no, not quite, not yet. But I will. The Brighton Detective Agency is not going to regret having entrusted this case to a new licensee. I can guarantee that.
Charlene, what last name do you have on her?
Aha, the last name. Now that I am right on the edge of, right on the edge.
But you are sure that Charlene's the first name?
Yes. I saw it on his desk calendar when I searched his cabin just 2 days ago. Right after he went out. Charlene and a phone number where they were going to meet for cocktails. In fact, I copied it down. In fact, the phone number turned out to be a place called, Cambro. It's a private club. I tried to wheedle my own way into their VIP room, but, I think they have gaming tables or something back there.
Cambro. That's got to be Jonathan Cambro.
Do you know the owner?
No, not personally. From time to time, we play on opposite teams.
We should be having another little something for you in about 3 weeks, my dear.
I doubt if I'll be available, Jonathan. I'm thinking about retiring. I'm very wealthy now, and I'm very pretty. And I think I may go out and enjoy it.
Don't be silly. You're not some clerk in a store.
And I'm not cartel either. I'm an independent contractor, and I work when I want to or not.
If you believe that, then you really are being silly. Now do yourself a favor and think a little more. My dear, you're the best. And you have so much knowledge of what we at Cartel do.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. I've already made up my mind.
No, I'm sorry, too. They're going to miss you. Felix, you see that you don't miss her. Granville Institute's Dr. Eckhart, Cartel.
Let's just get on with it, Jonathan. I've missed the formula. Why torture me?
Eckhart?
The microbes have been released. And now the antidote. 2, 3, 7.
Getting the microbe. Now, without an antidote, we've got nothing.
I'm not sure. Of course.
What?
Well, there seems to be a step missing. Yes. This formula is definitely not complete. One equation is missing.
That's crazy. Wouldn't Franklin have known that?
You told me he was a biologist, not a chemist. He would know how to make a formula according to these notes, but he might not know if one of the pages was missing.
That idiot. He probably left one of the pages up in that cabin of his.
Until you find it, we cannot know if an antidote exists or not. In which case, Mr. Cambro, I'm afraid we've let Cartel down.
Thomas? Torque, I'm inside. I'll try and keep Cambro out of his office as long as possible.
I hope so, because if I try to go through the man's office while he's still in it, I predict a very noisy evening.
I'm sorry, but the guest privileges only extend to the bar and dining areas.
Oh. Well, I was told that if I needed a reference for the Gold Room. Thank you.
You're absolutely sure it's nowhere in that cabin?
We tore the place apart, Mr. Cambro.
I examined every piece of paper. There was nothing in Dr. Franklin's cabin which would be a part of the formula.
Eckhart, for $1,000. Tell me where this red ace goes.
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Cambro. I never gamble.
Then it's time you began, Eckhart. The red ace for $1,000.
Coming out for a point. Shooting at Tibet down. Seven up front line, went up.
All right.
Same lucky shooter. Seven again up front line, went up eight up front line.
Yes, Felix, I understand. He's making sure we do notice him. But knowing which name to flash as a reference to get in here, that makes him dangerous.
I'm perfectly aware that it's a private room, but I'm joining my husband in there. And don't try to tell me that he hasn't arrived yet, because I happened to see him pull up just a little while ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, no one's left word. Your husband is already in the gold room, Mrs.
Sloane, Mrs. Thomas Sloane.
This way, please.
Well, imagine that.
Page 21.
You're very skillful, Mr. Sloane.
I try, Mr. Cambro, I try.
Well, one so seldom finds a really worthy adversary these days. Let's see how they fall, shall we?
Evening, ma'am.
Hi. Has Charlene been in tonight?
I seem to remember running across a man called Sloane once before. Not personally. It was 2, maybe 3 years ago. As I remember, he was very serious about a very lovely young lady. Lovely but meddlesome. I believe she died. I don't quite recall how.
It was 3 years ago. I recall exactly how.
Ah. And it was from being meddlesome, wasn't it?
Clark, Jack.
I am a licensed private investigator, and I know where Dr. Charles Franklin goes. And what he does, and with whom, all of his little peccadillos. I have been up to that cabin of his that he takes Charlene to, and I am sitting here because he meets her here. Oh, okay. Look, maybe you don't know Charlene, and maybe you don't know Charles Franklin by name, but I just happen to have a little photograph to show you.
You, said you'd been up to Dr. Franklin's cabin. Didn't you, miss?
Who are you? What are you doing? Will you let go of me? Come on, take your hands off of me. I want to speak.
terrific. We'll tell all our friends. See you later.
A man called Sloane will return.
Breathing normal. Features relaxed. Despite the discoloration, you say there's no apparent brain damage.
Well, their exposure was so brief, nobody's saying they wouldn't live if we could get them out of there. Or if the residue left by that microbe wasn't feasting on the oxygen we're pumping into them.
Doctor, are you sure there'll be an explosion if we continue pumping in oxygen?
Absolutely. In another few hours, that lab will pop like a balloon. And that would mean the beginning of the end of everything alive on this planet.
Another few hours may be all my men need.
Well, I'll wait as long as I can, without cutting it too short.
But if we could find the antidote.
I'm sorry, sir, but the word if has no effect on those gauges. I'm going to shut off the oxygen to the lab when it seems prudent to do so.
Prudent? Or necessary?
If I wait until it's necessary, I've waited too long.
Melissa, let me arrange to have you stay someplace just for a little while.
Thomas, I can't. Now, I'm still on a case just as much as you are. So far, I'm blowing it.
Cambro is very dangerous. I know from past experiences. This thing is a lot bigger than you think.
And the Brighton Detective Agency is a lot bigger than you think. And they don't give second chances to new licensees. Besides, there are at least a half a dozen highly skilled detectives in this room right this minute. And they're perfectly capable of looking out for me.
Melissa, I'm asking you to change your mind.
Thomas, I just can't.
All right. Here, if you need me, call that number.
That's nice. I've been trying to figure out a way to get your number.
All you had to do is ask. Clark? What's wrong?
You know that file marked Charlene that I found in Campbell's office?
Yeah?
Well, I ran the information and it passed Effie, and I came up with an address. I checked it out, and I found Charlene in an upstairs bedroom shot. It seems she was planning for a long trip, and someone canceled her plan.
Damn.
That's exactly what I said.
What about Cambro?
He seems to operate out of that club that he owns.
Clark, I don't buy that. If he's tied in with cartel like we think, then that club is just peanuts. No. He's got to operate out of someplace else.
Yeah? But where?
That woman we've been hoping to turn. She was just found shot. She's alive. She's been rushed into surgery.
I don't know what I'm even looking in there. A few more minutes, I'm going to have to kill those people.
Yes, I was told to call this number if I wanted to reach Thomas Sloane. Yes, I'll wait.
Want to have some lunch?
Oh, thanks. I can't right now, Kathy.
Okay, see you later.
Bye. Thomas? Listen, I'm not calling it a bad time, am I?
Melissa, you all right?
Well, I kind of feel better when you're around. And it would help to get a big break on this case.
Melissa, Torque and I'll give you a hand when you need it.
Thanks. Oh, listen, maybe I can give you guys a hand right now. Remember I told you when I went up to Dr. Franklin's cabin that I jotted down the name Charlene and that phone number for the private club?
Sure, why?
Well, what I jotted them down on is this piece of paper that was out on the desk there. I mean, I didn't even know I had it. I've just been carrying it around, and it's probably a big nothing anyway, but...
Would you slow down? Just tell me what's on the piece of paper, please.
Oh, I don't know, a bunch of mathematical notes or something. I just thought you might like to take a look at it. Maybe it has something to do with why Dr. Franklin is missing. You see, here at Brighton, the rule is to study even the smallest possible clue.
Let's just stay right there. I'm on my way.
Formula page. Come on, let's have it right now. I think we've got the items we came for. Both of them.
Hi. I'm a friend of Melissa Nelson's.
I remember. I saw you with her this morning.
Oh, would you do me a favor, please? Let her know that I'm here.
I'd be glad to. Only I don't know where she is. Why don't you pull up a chair? Maybe I'll get lucky and she won't hurry back.
You mean she's left the office?
Uh-huh. Well, everyone was at lunch. But I don't think she went very far. She carries practically everything she owns in her briefcase, and it's sitting back there next to her desk.
Well, there's something she wanted me to pick up. She probably left it in her briefcase. I'll just go get it.
You can't.
Please, I'll be right back. Don't move.
Haircut.
Oh, excuse me, Jonathan. I was merely...
Relax. I'll introduce you myself, Eckhart. But you don't want to get your heart attack till after you finish business now, do you?
No, Jonathan.
Right.
The missing page of the formula.
Does it appear feasible? Make sense?
It's very imaginative.
Eckhart, is it real?
Oh, yes, no question. But whether it will make the neutralizer work or not...
That part I leave to you. Let's take a shot at it now, shall we?
Have we a subject?
Mr. Cambro. This fell out of his sleeve.
attention, please.
Tune out now.
Stay close, will you, Torque?
I may need a friend.
That you've got, Thomas.
Mr. Sloane. Hello there, Mr. Sloane. You know, you are handsome. We could fool around some, except your girlfriend would be dead by then. And you wouldn't want that on your conscience now, would you?
You've made your point.
Where is she, Cambro?
Mr. Sloane, I didn't enjoy your company at my club last night. You made it even worse by not taking the money you'd won.
Where's the girl?
Don't worry. You'll see her soon enough.
Thomas, why didn't he tell me about this when I applied for my private detective's license?
You're doing fine, just fine.
Well, Mr. Sloane, let's hope for all our sakes your luck hasn't run out. Release the microbes, Doctor.
The microbes are released. Now the antidote. 2, 3, 7. I believe it does.
Thomas, we made it.
I'm afraid there's something else they didn't tell you when you applied for that license.
The assignment is complete. From this time forward, no nation will dare ignore cartel's demands.
And what about our guinea pigs?
Oh, I think blue is their color, don't you, Doctor?
touch with me, I thought you might be in trouble.
That's what I like about you. You're always thinking. Did you see Cambro on the way out?
No, but his car just pulled up in front of the house. His man is waiting behind the wheel.
He's going to deliver the microbe to cartel. That road winds around the estate before it reaches the highway.
Well, maybe we can still catch a ride.
There it is. Oh, boy. Hey, Cambro just crapped out. Glasses, Jill?
Coming right up. Thomas, having dinner sent in from Chez Marcel must have cost you a fortune.
Well, even private eyes deserve to live it up once in a while.
You know, I've been thinking, you and Torque made me look good with the Brighton Detective Agency this time, but maybe I really should look into a different line of work.
Are you kidding? You're a natural.
You really think so?
Cheers.
Well, you must be the bright young investigator Torque has been telling me about. Ms. Melissa Nelson?
Oh, well, I guess I am.
Thomas, we wanted you to know those two scientists who were trapped in Granville's laboratory are going to be all right.
Hey, that's good to know, Torque. Thank you very much for coming by to tell me. Thank you.
Well, as long as we're here.
Well, as long as you're here, why don't you stay for dinner?
Well, thank you. If you insist, Thomas. If you insist.
Well, as long as you are here. Champagne? A couple of glasses? Remind me to buy an air conditioner so I can close your door.
Next Saturday night, Gregory Peck is MacArthur, the man behind the legend, the general that defied a president and won our wars. MacArthur, a television premiere next Saturday. Tomorrow night, be sure to watch Primetime Sunday with Tom Snyder as it examines the use of electroshock therapy. Primetime Sunday immediately following One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, tomorrow on NBC.